Yo, and I hate doing these kind of like, I used to say this for my classroom, so I hate, you know, I personally don't do a lot of these at all, but I feel like this needed to be said. This whole sampling conversation about kids taking songs from the 2000s and using them for songs that are now, whether it be dead loops. What I mean by loop is, for people that don't know, just taking a song, cutting it off at a certain time and then going back to the beginning and you making it a new song or whatever it is, like, and people getting upset about it, whether it be producers or whether it be anybody. Like, hey, leave these kids alone, man. And the reason why I say that is because we can't get mad at a kid from sampling something. If we're in 2024 and they sample something in 2005 or 2002 or 2001, we can't get mad at that kid for sampling that when we love a song called It Ain't Hard to Tell, released April 19th. Well, on the Illmatic was released April 19th, 1994. And it came from a song 12 years prior, Human Nature. Like, we had to choose when we choose to get mad. Like, it truly makes no sense how we down the fact on how we transferred information from generation to generation. If you know the history of our people, we've always transferred it by, quote unquote, word of mouth or through song. And sometimes it wasn't always on paper. It always wasn't written down. It was transferred so many different ways, whether it been through sampling, borrowing, whatever you want to call it. And that's how we get music from generation to generation. And if a kid wants to pick up a Fruity Loops or whatever he wants to pick, or she wants to pick up, or they want to take a record from 2004 and use it now, and this kid is 15 years old, and we as the older generation say, oh, that's such and such, or that's just, they just did whatever. Maybe that one kid, by using this one song, we can pick an artist. Maybe they sampled an Usher song, or maybe they sampled a Erykah Badu song, or maybe they sampled something from a Music Soul Child song. That one kid may be a vessel to their generation of kids to go back and listen to something because they used it. Everybody isn't raised the same. Everybody isn't brought up in these vast musical households. We can't get on kids for not knowing all of 90s hip hop or all of 90s R&B or all of 2000s R&B. Like, I got students in my class that's, born in 2004. Like, we can't get on these kids for not knowing, and we can't get on them to make them know everything. I think that's truly unfair to do that. Like, they got to know it all. They got to know everything we know. And we can easily say, well, they got the internet. Well, if I'm a 13-year-old, where do you start? If I'm 12 years old or 11 years old or 10 years old and I want to start listening to hip hop, where should I start? Some older people might say, oh, we need to start Rakim. Some people may say we need to start at Nas. Some people may say, well, you need to start at Lauryn Hill. That's still 30 years ago. That's almost 30 years of music that somebody needs to learn. And it's an abyss. I don't think we understand the abyss because we grew up with it in real time. We didn't have to go back and listen to hip hop. They're born where there's a catalog. They have to research. When we were born in the 70s, songs came as we lived. Songs came as we lived. So we didn't have to research it. We got it in real time, as opposed to an 11-year-old kid or a 15-year-old kid. They have to go back and listen to all this stuff. 6 Tribe albums, 5, 6 Outkast albums. Come on, man. Wu-Tang and its whole catalog. Tupac's whole catalog. Like, these are vast catalogs of music that we expect these kids to know. And that's not only hip hop, that's R&B too. So leave these kids alone, man. Leave these kids alone. Stop being the old person on the hill. Stop being a super hip hop dude or whatever, saying, yo, like, they need to know this and maybe they don't know. Man, that's fine. That's the greatness about turning people on to music. That's what it is. So if you old and you sitting there getting on the kid because you walk in and they done made a beat out of, I don't know, Confessions, maybe that kid, by using that, will give it to their friends, and then their friends are like, oh, this is a song from this album. And then they go and listen to the album, then they go research all of Usher's album just because it's one kid sampling. And guess what? That's what happened to me. That's what happened to Just Blaze. That's what happened to Kanye. That's what happened to everybody that we love. We heard a record, a hip hopper used it, we got the record, we found out what the sample was, and we went and bought that whole catalog, whether it been Cal Jader, whether it been Ron Carter, whether it been The Main Ingredient, whether it been Curtis Mayfield. Our vessel was hip hop. So stop getting on these kids for using stuff that they don't know. Like, their parents might not have turned them on. Who knows? They don't know. They don't know where it came from. They don't know whatever. They like the feeling of it. They use it. And now this is a vessel for the next generation that we claim they don't know anything, for the next generation to learn about it, to go down the wormhole. Oh, this person has this many albums. Oh, I can get in this and it. And this is like a family tree of music that they're introduced because of one kid decided to sample a song we all thought was too famous. Peace.